Oh, what's up, YouTube? Okay. Like I said before, we're at a point now where we have so many problems that we have to reach a point where we can say we're putting this away. This is no longer an issue. Word is final. It is how it is. And I'm reaching that point with the whole idea of the suburb versus, the hood type of black man, inner city type dude. Because it's clear that we can't really talk to each other, because the assumption is because we may be in the suburbs that we have no clue about what's going on in reality, even though some of us started off our lives in that environment and moved out, and some of us have family members who were born and raised in it, right? And we still have family members who are still living in that environment, but regardless, we don't know what's going on, so we can't speak on anything. And they know everything in terms of what it means to be in the suburbs. They know everything down to a T. And, because of that, they have said that we really can't, understand where they're coming from. Fine. Okay. And it's funny because when we talk about racism, a lot of the, stuff that you may go through in the inner city type environment is a lot more secondary. Right, it's more systemic. It's not necessarily in your face, right? They talk about, when we call the police don't come. So how can you necessarily experience police brutality and, maltreatment when they don't even come to your environment? Whereas, and I'm not trying to say that you don't still go through your own forms of racism. Like I said, it's a lot more systemic and economic. But in terms of the middle class, it's more direct in your face. Like I said before, try walking into a white bank and being a black male, right, on an off day, right, when you're in some basketball shorts and a hat, right, just normal. You're not going to work anywhere. You just run into the bank to, handle some affairs. And just look out how people treat you, how they stop you. Oh, hey, do you need anything? And then, like, as if, I've never walked into a bank before. Just imagine having a group of friends over at your house and the police are there. Right, because there's a disturbance or some neighbor got scared, but you actually live there. You've been living there longer than the person who called the police on you, right? So there's a lot more direct racism and oppression there. But like I said before, we're from the suburbs and we don't really know about what's going on with anything else. And like I said, that's fine. If that's how it's gonna be, where people worry about their own grouping, then it is what it is. I guess middle class blacks look out for what we need to do, and blacks in the more urban inner city type environment kind of handle what they have to handle. But understand what this means. This means that, right, if you do make it out from the inner city type environment, you're into my class now, right? Don't betray us and go help the inner city, right? Because they'll tell you that you don't know what's going on. Right? So there's no more, hey, I'm going to go to school and come back and be the mayor of my town or the politician. There is no more, I'm going to come back and, be a principal or, a business owner. You're in the middle class now. You're in the middle class, and it won't be on my doing, right? It's going to come from people in the inner city who say that we can't identify with you guys. So if you're one of them and you make it out, hey, you're on our side of the fence now, okay? So we have to worry about making our black middle class a little bit stronger. Because there really is, like, if you want to gain some economic power and all that other stuff, you got to come over to my side. You have to, quote unquote, become the suburban type of black man. Because this is where all the training and the resources are at to begin with. And there is no going back. And at the end of the day, it's unfortunate, but I don't feel like it's primarily on our hands, right? The blood isn't on our hands. The blood is coming from black men in these, the inner city type environments who are saying, we don't want your help. At half the time, there's not much I can do anyways but tell you what I did, right? But either way, it always comes off as being condescending and all this other stuff because, you're right. I don't have all the power in the world. All I can do is show you, hey, I did X, Y, and Z. You can do it too. Okay, but if you want to polarize it, it is what it is. I'm a firm believer that a lot of these men who say we don't know anything about the inner city and that we should stay out are feeding into the whole idea of being, quote unquote, the real black person in America. Because, you know, if you don't come from the inner city and you don't have a hard life, right, if they can't do specials, right, talking about your hard life in the inner city and how you made it out and now you're in the NBA, you're not real black, right? There's no hip-hop videos, right, telling you that it's not cool. But the second you get older, right, and, you know, hip-hop and all these places tell you that it's no longer cool to be struggling in the inner city and all the other stuff, then there's the change of heart. Then there's, oh, you know, I'm a little bit wiser. You know, all these older black men, they don't come around and they don't want to help out anymore, and they've turned their back on the community, right? But remember what you were saying when you was in your 20s, right, when it was still cool, when it was cool to have the tin boots and the fitted hats on, and, you know, you was getting the love and the attention, and people was like, yo, that's the real black man. Remember what happens when you're in that same outfit, 35, 40, okay? Who are you going to be blaming now? Right? Like I said before, there's a little bit of blood on both sides, but like I said, we are not the ones saying that we should stay out, so to speak. Okay? We are not the ones who, you know, feel as if we can't identify with each other. Like I said, where did we come from? Right? The whole idea of this uppity, elite, rich class in terms of black America, they've been separated from us for generations. Their money is old money. Most blacks that you see with, you know, good money, upper, middle, just got there. Just got there. We still have ties. We still know where our houses were in these neighborhoods. We still have family there. But, you know, it's upsetting, but I really don't feel like we're the ones closing this door, ending this chapter, but it needs to happen because there's so many other things that we have to get at. All I'm trying to say is just understand what this means in terms of impact. Because for me, a lot of things in the black community are not really going to become visual till 10 years, right? That's when we're actually going to start to see some of the end results of our choices and our statements and our feelings. And I don't want people to all of a sudden have convenient amnesia and act as if it was the middle class black men or upper class black men who turned their back. I want people to remember we were the ones that, you know, were told that we should stay out, that we come off as condescending, and we come off as, you know, trying to, you know, pretty much boost our egos by telling people what to do. So it has to be noted. It really does. So you guys take it easy. Take care. God bless.